Catch up with all the latest sports news and results from around the globe. Now on BBC World News in Sport Today.
Hello and welcome live to Rio. We are outside the Maracana, where in just a few moments' time the closing ceremony at the Olympic Games will begin. I'm Chris Mitchell, this is Sport Today. Coming up on the programme for you, the hosts Brazil end their games on a high. Their men win the volleyball. There's a full set for Kipchoge. He wins the marathon to add to his Olympic silver and bronze. And the last gold of the Games goes to the United States of America. They win the men's basketball. Well, hello and welcome to the Maracana in quite extraordinary circumstances, because we have a power cut here, which is put pay to our full edition of Sport Today. But more importantly than that, you can't see behind me the Maracana. And I am pretty certain this isn't part of the closing ceremonies at all. You can see the lights beginning to come on. That'll be the emergency generators, one would think. The streets below me completely in darkness. There are still hundreds, thousands of people trying to go into the Maracana as we speak. The reason for this, we can only assume, is the wild and wet weather that we've had coming in off the Atlantic Ocean now for the past 2 hours. It was forecast. It hasn't been particularly worse than a sea storm. The winds aren't particularly high. They're high, it's stormy, but nothing you would think that would cause this kind of power outage, but it has. And that is the scene at the Maracana right now as the Olympic Games comes to a close. I don't know what we can see, Paul, our cameraman, not a great deal. The flashing lights of police cars down there and motorbikes. Behind them, there are queues of people dressed in ponchos with umbrellas, trying to stay dry rather in these inclement conditions. Nothing that Rio hasn't seen before in terms of the weather, I'm sure, but exactly what they wouldn't have wanted for the closing ceremony. Let me update you on what has happened today. Great for the United States basketball team, as expected, gold there. And early this morning, when the weather was a lot better, we had the men's marathon. Here's Jim Lumsden.
After 16 days of competition, the last medals are fought for before the baton passes to Tokyo. As is traditional, the big event of the final day is the men's marathon. Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge left the rest of the field trailing on a rainy day in Rio. The 31-year-old finished in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Fayisa Lilesa of Ethiopia came in 70 seconds later to take silver, with the American Galen Rupp collecting bronze. And there was glory for the host nation in the men's team volleyball. Brazil won a 7th gold medal, defeating Italy in straight sets to improve on the silver won at the last 2 games. France won men's handball gold at the last 2 Olympics, but the domination is at an end. In Rio, they were narrowly beaten in the final by Denmark, 28 points to 26. The French fared better in the boxing ring. Tony Yoka beat Britain's Joe Joyce to win the men's super heavyweight title. His girlfriend Estelle Mosseli won lightweight gold last week. Jim Lumsden, BBC News.
Well, you're watching Sport Today. We're live outside the Maracana, where there has been a power cut inside the stadium and here as well at our live point for BBC World News. I can tell you, though, that United States, as expected, before this weather came in, won the gold medal at the basketball. It was a complete thrashing, to tell you the truth. They beat Serbia, just like they did at the 2014 World Cup. 96-66 it ended. Kevin Durant was the man who, well, he was on fire, to tell you the truth. 30 points for him at one stage. He scored more points than the entire Serbia team had. A real one-way game, and the United States there getting a 15th overall gold medal in the basketball. Interestingly, Coach K's last game in charge of the United States basketball team, he hadn't lost a game since 2006. Let's have a look at the final medal table for you very briefly. The United States are top there. They had a little dip, didn't they, in 2008. where China did so well, winning 50+ gold medals. China not so happy if you look at them there in the medal table. Great Britain doing better than they did when they hosted the Games 4 years ago. That's causing great delight back in the UK. OK, let me leave you with the scene here. I'm sure my colleague Babita Sharma in the news a little later on will be talking a lot about this. The lights have gone out, quite literally, in Rio as the closing ceremony was about to begin. You couldn't make this stuff up. Much more to come in the news at the top of the hour. I'm Chris Mitchell, that for you was Sport Today.